3 for 3. Teach, coach, podfather. Talking Steph. What better thing to talk about today than the NBA?
First off, let's not leave out one of your favorite Orioles of all time, Miguel Tejada, number 30.
Miguel Tejada.
Do you remember Miguel Tejada?
I do remember Miguel Tejada.
What
Played
position did he
shortstop.
play? No, he did not. Not
Second
for,
base.
No, try again.
I don't know. Was he third?
He was.
I thought he was
third.
a shortstop somewhere.
He was a third base in Baltimore. Okay, yep. All he did was almost have like 200 RBI for you, but that's okay. You're a real baseball fan. Let's talk
that
about
was
NBA.
back in like how long ago was that? 2005.
When he was in his prime.
2000. That was like your biggest free agent signing in the history of the Orioles.
Yeah.
Okay.
He Moneyball. If you watch Moneyball, he's one of the names that are never mentioned.
This is why when Alex starts talking about baseball, just ignore him. Just ignore him because he's going to say a few things. It's
I'm here
what
for
he just looked up on his phone.
I'm here for a few things. I'll talk football all day. I'll talk basketball all day. I could talk boxing. I'll even talk wrestling from when I was a kid. I loved wrestling back in the day. Fantasy football. I'll talk it.
One thing,
I am the champion, still reigning champ.
Still.
First time.
Not you. So still first time.
Still reigning
the
champ.
new and still. Go ahead and say it. Hey, Frank, would you do my name the way they do Brock Lesnar? You remember that one time, that one episode you did it? You're like, oh, I thought you were going to say Brock Lesnar. Do my name like that. Podfather.
No.
Come on, man.
One thing that Podfather's really good at, that he knows a ton of, is Laker basketball.
Yes, he does.
Man.
And we are gathered here today to discuss, dissect, and hopefully get through the Lakers autopsy, right? I wish we had some music over for like dun dun, like a Law and Order. Dun 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 dun. That'd be good. Maybe next time production will work on that. Oh, wait a second.
What happened?
Wait a second.
It almost started.
Get the popcorn.
Is that sad enough for you?
This is gloomy.
I did it for the music. But I mean, this is good too.
This is us. Welcome to three randos watching a video.
That's not
What
us.
is happening?
Riverside Mobile, presented by.
That was almost as disappointing as the series against the Nuggets for you.
Yes.
That was
So that would slide into the every sports life and everything in between. Where
Did the music hit right though?
I don't know. The music. I'm totally confused.
I don't think anything hit right there. Okay, I think that was the LeBron James 3-pointer from the games 1 and 2.
Yes.
So if either of you ever have to work the actual studio,
okay,
the one that says mobile is the video. Just FYI.
3 for 3 podcast. We make stuff up as we go.
Yeah.
Let's
Don't
talk
click
Lakers.
mobile.
Let's talk Lakers. Okay. They're dead and they're gone. We're still going to talk about them. We have an off season filled with fun things. I want to start with the coach.
Yeah.
How much of this is on Darvin Ham?
Gosh, we just played blame game last week.
Blame pie. Thank you.
Blame pie is what it is.
Blame game, blame pie. Yeah, I messed up. I'm sorry.
We're used to it.
25-30%, about the same as everything else. I mean, he tried to make some adjustments. It was a little too late, but you can't. There comes to a point when after watching the fourth game in a row you lose that you realize, A, LeBron was hurt. B, Denver's better. C, Jokic might be the best player in the NBA right now. He hit shots that shouldn't have been hidden, and he didn't hit it once or twice. He hit it like 10 times in a 4-game series. It was like unbelievable back-breaking shots. And I don't know. I'm just saying, like it was fun to watch. If you didn't want the Lakers to win, that was really fun to watch.
If only one of us could predicted all this.
Nobody
the rise of
you
Jokic. Yeah, you're right. So if only one of us was more right, way more right than the other two. If only somebody could have said that Jokic was all year long, the second half of the season, all I heard from you two jokers was, we won Denver. We want Denver. I'm not scared. You know what? Maybe they should start losing. They're so hot right now. They're going to outplay the 8 seed. We want the 8 seed because we want Denver. You got Denver. You got Denver. And I don't want to hear any excuses. Just go ahead and say Denver was clearly the better team. Clearly the better team. You should have never wanted Denver at all. Okay? Careful what you wish for. You got it.
Denver was clearly the hotter team. Yes.
Yes. Hotter, better, taller. Somebody said taller. I think Alex last podcast said they're taller, they're lengthier, they're longer. I was like, wait a second, that's all three things that mean the same thing. Okay. Ham. I mean, Podfather, would you have rather had Frank Vogel out there the way Ham was running stuff?
I think Ham did some really good things in the playoffs. I think the Lonnie Walker twist, the sitting Malik Beasley, he actually pulled and sat D'Angelo Russell. There were a couple things that he did. Tristan Thompson getting on the floor, like knowing that, TT's that guy. He's going to play with effort. He's going to play big. Look, I think Denver was I can't say hotter or better team. I think Denver was the healthier team. I think Denver was, and Denver had the best player on the floor. Look, I've been giving Joker like crap all year long. Here's what I'll say. Look, that guy is a tremendous basketball player, and it worked. It worked against LA. Now, let's also think that Jamal Murray played out of his mind. And we couldn't match wits with that with anybody. AD had a subpar series, offensively and defensively. And defensively wasn't because of Joker. It was because of AD. He's been having, he's been up and down, and he just had a down series. LeBron, again, a down series, shooting the ball. Had one good half the entire series. D'Angelo Russell couldn't buy a bucket. I mean, the hoop must have been the size of a dime for D'Lo. Malik Beasley never got on the floor. Vanderbilt was unplayable in this series. We had a lot of things go against us in this series. Credit Denver. Credit the Nuggets.
Would you guys both think they should keep Ham?
Yeah, I don't know that there's a better candidate out this year.
Can I talk about? Would you rather have? Let's play Would You Rather, okay? Would you rather have Ham or Nick Nurse?
Ham.
Darvin Ham.
Ham.
Would you rather have Ham or Sam Cassell?
Ham.
Ham right now.
And then the last name, would you rather have Ham or Rick Carlisle?
Ham.
I love Rick Carlisle, but I think because of relationship already there, give me Darvin Ham. Now, Rick Carlisle, I think, is a way better coach, but give me Ham because of relationship and stuff.
The Lakers are kind of in a win it. They have to win it, and they put their eggs in the basket with Ham. And I think he let LeBron a little more freedom with helping call plays, coaching different things. I think it was working. I believe they bought in. They had the first or second best record in the West, if not the whole NBA since the trade deadline. It wasn't like it was a horrible thing. It was just a little too late, and they were injured. Plus, all I heard about Vanderbilt, it was 3 weeks before the playoffs started, I heard he struggles against players like Jokic. Well, that is true. It's clear and evident now. We did not have answer for Jokic, and that was the whole problem. 2 years ago in the bubble when we had Dwight and JaVale, it looked like they gave him fits. It looked like they messed with it. It was just big, strong bodies, fouls thrown at them. They were playing aggressive. But AD seemed like paper mache against him. He looked like he just walked through AD. I don't know. I don't know. AD was phenomenal defensively the first part of the playoffs, and then it just he couldn't handle Jokic. Jokic was just better.
But I think you have to give credit. I don't know that there's a center in the NBA right now that can handle Jokic. I don't care who we bring on our roster. I think that guy, you say, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, they did give him fits, but that was 2 years ago, and that guy's grown tremendously. The way he sees the floor, the plays, the relationship with Mike Malone, the whole Denver Nuggets squad. I think the chemistry is there with the pieces that have been there, and nobody talks about. Look, that Brown pickup and KCP pickup this year. and we know Frank is a coach because we had a title run with KCP in LA. Like what those guys bring to the floor, and tenacity, energy, shot making, getting to the basket, defense. Uh, Denver was an all around team. I look for them to beat whoever it is that comes out of the East.
You know what's funny is if you look at that bubble championship and you write down the players that were like very, very, very extremely impactful, they go to other places and they're being impactful. Kuzma's being impactful in Washington. Caruso, KCP, the players like that were super impactful for the Lakers during that playoff run. Yeah, LeBron led the way. Yes, AD was tremendous offensively in the bubble. But those players, the others were tremendous. The others showed up in the first two series for the Lakers. They fell apart against Denver. And I think Denver kind of smelled blood in the water. They saw that LeBron and AD were sitting in the corner and noticed, hey, something's off. And they made sure they stopped all the guard play from the Lakers. And the Lakers offensively just couldn't sustain drives of scoring. They couldn't. It was minutes and minutes on end, game after game. You see this long stretch where they didn't score. And it just is what it is. But that's also part because LeBron James is hurt. I truly believe that. I know you call it what you want, but it's out there now. He's going to have surgery. He'll be out for 2 months, and it is what it is.
Stay tuned for episode 31 when we're going to break down LeBron James and kind of where does he go from here with it. I do want to talk about other roster changes because obviously there's going to be roster changes. There's no way they go into LeBron's last year and not make some decisive decisions. Mostly because the only two players who are legitimately under contract that they can't move off of are AD and LeBron. $94 million next year between them. Listen, from my standpoint, a non-Laker fan standpoint, they got better after the trade deadline. So Rob Pelinka saved his job with that.
Yeah.
Can he pull another rabbit out the hat? I think he can. I think there's still a lure to Hollywood, not for your top stars, but for depth. I think players like playing with LeBron James. I don't know if they like playing with AD because, well, they probably do because they know their minutes are going to go up. Let's focus on the two major restricted free agents that the Lakers have. Austin Reeves.
Can we just run? You want to just run down the roster and just do like a 30-second down the roster? You got the roster on you?
I don't, but I pretty much can remember it just from staring at it the last 4 days. So Anthony Davis and LeBron James, obviously $94 million, right? Austin Reeves is a restricted free agent, as is Rui Hachimura, right? Mo Bamba has a partial guarantee. I know everybody's going to say it's a non-guarantee. No, it's a partial guarantee. Nobody knows what the guarantee is. It's likely going to be 1.5 or 2 million. Malik Beasley has a $16 million team option. Yeah, they're going to kindly say, Malik, take your talent somewhere else. And I believe that's it. I mean, they have their lower picks. Max Christie is a guy that's going to be hanging around. Jared Vanderbilt is a non-guaranteed I think it's something like 4.6 million.
6, yeah.
And then other than that, it's a clean slate. It's wide open. So, I mean, do you guys want to start with Rui first? He's probably an easier one to say than Austin Reeves.
Yeah, we can start with Rui.
So what do you think? I mean, are they going to have him back? I feel like if you're a restricted free agent, they can't lose the asset.
To an extent, Kyrie's a big factor. What does Dallas want?
Well, let's stay in-house first and then see. I mean, what do you think he makes?
18. That's my guess. I think 18 million.
You think Rui goes up to 18?
Wait a second. Oh, opposite. I'm sorry. 12 million is what I had for Rui. 18's for Reeves. Excuse me. So I had 12 to 14 max. 14. Lower end 10 would be kind of what would be like a good mix, but 12 would be a good range of what I think he would sign for. Multi-year deal for 12 million a year. Maybe
Father, what do you think?
I think Rui, I have him anywhere from 7 to 11. I think we can get 7 or 8 on a come back, play with LeBron. You shined in the playoffs. Give us one more year type deal, and then try to get him something long term after that.
It's his first payday. I don't think he's taking a pay cut. I think if he can get 12, and I do think looking at the comps, Bobby Portis made 12 a year. I think he got 4 years, 48. I think the better comp is Marvin Bagley III, who had better stats than Rui. Similar draft class. I think Bagley was 19 and Rui was 2020, but that's still 12 a year. I think that's it. Austin Reeves is more interesting. I think Rui comes back. I think there's a lot more to his game. He showed that at Gonzaga. I think there's a lot more to his. Showed it in spurts. Played well against Memphis. Didn't play great against Golden State. Played well against Denver in spurts. What does Austin Reeves make?
I mean, there's rumors out there right now that there's GMs that are willing to offer him $100 million, 25 to 28 a year. I think that's crazy money. And if you're LA, you can't match something like that. It's just way overspending on the value. But I think realistically, I would love to see Austin Reeves in the 18 to 22 range.
Yeah,
Coach.
I mean, realistically, I think that I would like to see him 16 to 18, maybe even. Honestly, I mean, the guy's averaging like 15 points a game. He's not averaging 25 points a game. I know it is what it is, but like, so I would say I want to say 14 to 16, but I believe because of the hype and the Lakers and the way that his stuff was built, it's going to be 18 to 20.
Well,
but I want to say value wise, 14 to 16 sounds a better number to me. But he's going to get more because he seemed to be extremely popular during the playoffs.
I think Jordan Poole reset the market on what those bench players at 15 to 18 points a game do.
And Tyler Hero. I think Tyler Hero and Jordan Poole.
And I don't think Austin Reeves, we can give him that kind of money. I think both Miami and Golden State overpaid for their two. I don't know if LA doesn't do the same.
I think what LA has to do is what they did, though. I think you have to keep the asset. When you are asset poor, you have to keep the asset. Even if that means, hey, we're going to overpay him, knowing that we'll trade him. That's fine. We'll trade him halfway through the season. Somebody's going to want him. The comps I had, Tyler Hero. I don't think it's Tyler Hero, though. $30 million a year that's really rich. I think it's more Fred VanVleet. So Fred VanVleet made 85 over 4 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm figuring, around the 18 to 22 range.
Yeah, I have it 15 to 22. It all depends on how comfortable is he in LA? How much does some stupid team like Orlando say, you know what? Forget it. You know, Houston could say, whatever, we'll pay him 27 a year.
My problem with all of those comps and everything, I think every player you said is better than he is. And that's the situation.
I think
every single player you named is better than he is.
I don't think Jordan Poole is better than Austin Reeves.
I think he had a horrible
not even close.
I think Jordan Poole is better.
Okay, let me change let me explain the way I think to you. What I'm hearing from you is like, I think all these players are better than him. Right now, correct. But if I'm giving a contract to somebody, I'm not paying for past performance. I'm paying for future performance. This is what I think you're going to be worth to my team. That's why nobody's giving Dwight Howard $20 million a year, because you're not paying for past performance. So I think Austin Reeves can grow into a Gordon Hayward type player. He's in year 2. And yeah, he's only averaging 15 points a game. Guess what? Gordon Hayward, I think, was averaging 13 points a year his second year. And the game style is very similar. Can I see him having a huge leap and winning most improved player next year? Hell yeah, I can. Can I see him being a 22 point per game scorer with averaging 22, 6, and 6 and shooting 39 to 42% from 3? Hell yeah, I can.
I was about to say the only thing he needs to improve on, really, I'd love to see him add 2 or 3% to his 3-point shooting. You know what I mean? If he gets around that 40%, he becomes such a valuable piece. It's crazy because he plays effort basketball, plays defense, can get to the rim. He has great vision on the court, and he's a team player. The guys like him.
Now, salary cap wise, okay, if we take the 94 from them, from AD and LeBron James, if we budget $30 million for Rui and Reeves, right, between the two, $30 million, which I don't think is out of the context, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. Realistically, they have about $30 to $34 million before that tax cap, right? The tax apron, the tax apron that they've rolled out 162 for next year. So, you know, that's not enough to go get a Kyrie. That's not enough to get one of these super duper free agents, which I don't think that should be the goal either. But I think how they made their turnaround was by getting rid of Russ and allocating funding to a deep bench.
So here's what I think happens. I think D'Lo, I think D'Lo doesn't get the max. I think his max option. I think he can get like 2 for 67, right? So his max is 2 years, 67 million. That's the D'Lo max that he's up for this year, right?
He can get a 4-year deal from anyone
for sure, but the most realistic is a 2 year, 67 million. Is what I've read. It's what everybody's saying.
I think he can get upwards of 44 million from someone else a year.
Can he get that high?
I think he can. Yeah.
I thought it was like 34,
he could
30.
Physically get it. He could physically.
No, I think that's
is
what
he going to get it?
I think based off ways, and that's not even. I mean, he can get the max from whoever.
So do you think? So the question is, and I'm bringing up, do you think D'Lo has hurt his value enough where we can get him at 20 million a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they could. I think there's better options out there.
What options do you have?
$20
million.
I broke down their $35 million in cap space this way. I think Karis LeVert has had a horrible season in Cleveland because Donovan Mitchell took his minutes. I think Karis LeVert is a distressed asset. I think he's going to go for somewhere between 12 and 16 million. I think Karis LeVert is a better option for this team than D'Angelo Russell. I think, my opinion, Seth Curry, again, another down year, another distressed asset from Brooklyn. He looked great 2 years ago. 2 years ago, teams were clamoring saying he should be making 20 million. I think he makes 12 million, which happens to be the mid-level exemption. I think it's 12.4 million this year is the mid-level. Do I think he'd want to go out west and play? Absolutely, because he's going to be 32, 33 years old next year. He's going to be transitioning into the next stage of his career, which I think for every single player in the NBA is a podcast, all right, or it's getting into entertainment. I would
being a spot-up shooter and getting into entertainment. That's it.
I mean, that's it, right? He should be able to play another 4 years as a catch and shoot 3-point specialist. I think Coach has talked about it forever and talked about what this Lakers team needs. He said it earlier, is a big man. Great. Awesome. He mentioned to me earlier this week, Andre Drummond, free agent. Okay. I believe he has a player option. If you throw $5 million at Andre Drummond, you're not missing out on anything. If he declines you, then great. You look up Robin Lopez and say, hey, can I throw $5 million at you to come here and back up Anthony Davis or play 22 minutes a game being the big man? I think that's that toughness that they need. Austin Rivers. I'd give Austin Rivers a call at $5 million. You know, his life has changed. He's not the number one product coming out of Duke anymore. He seems to be a pretty humble guy, and he played great for Minnesota this year. Jared Vanderbilt, I would have him come back, but I would offer him the biannual exemption of $6 million. There you go. You get a little bit of a pay raise for this first year, and then you actually come back. Plus the exemption. So Seth Curry and Vanderbilt wouldn't count against your cap because they're the two exemptions.
Couldn't you just get Vanderbilt for the 4.6 he's already on the books for?
I think if you say we're going to give you the 4.6, he walks. I think if you say we're going to give you 6 and you'll be a free agent next year.
He walk?
Yes.
Oh, next year. Next year he walks. Well, he's under contract.
No,
they're not just going to give him more money.
No, it's a non-guaranteed contract. I think he can leave. Plus, I think if you get rid of him first and then allocate his, now using the exemption, he doesn't count against your salary cap. So what you're saying is, hey, pay him the 4-something million and it counts against our salary cap. What I'm saying is give him 6 and it doesn't. So I'm saving the Lakers money. Listen, the last spot goes to y'all's favorite player, Dillon Brooks. I think Dillon Brooks would be perfect for this Lakers team. I think he would be he's a pesky defender. I think Dillon Brooks playing alongside of LeBron James works. And then that leaves me with 2 spots, Max Christie. And remember, they have the 17th pick in the draft. So I have 2 names, Leonard Miller, who is a 6'10", pretty decent player. And then we have, again, Frank will know this guy, Derek Whitehead from Duke.
Derek Whitehead.
Underperformed, and he could realistically fall to 17.
And he realistically would be a good player.
I think if you give him 2 years with LeBron, if you give him 1 year with LeBron James, absolutely.
So
hold on real fast. I got right here. He's under, if they don't get rid of him by June 30th, his contract becomes fully guaranteed at $4.6 million for next year.
which
or
means
they can get rid of him.
Which means they would have to pay that, and it would count against their salary cap.
Yeah,
right.
If
So
you
instead of
if
giving
you
him the
say
exemption,
get rid of him, put him into the exemption, and now he becomes not against your salary cap. That's
correct.
I see what you're
And he gets a raise.
yeah.
And so here's my thought process, and I'm not going to take long with it. Right? I love all that. You ran it down, and there's some good options there. I'm not a huge Karis LeVert fan. I think he's streaky. We've had a lot of streakiness in LA. I don't think we need that. I love. I hate Dylan Brooks. I do love the Drummond thing. Even Robin Lopez. I think Coach and I were talking about it earlier. And one thing that we've been talking about since LA lost was how do we fix Anthony Davis? He's really the key to championships. It's not fixing LeBron James. It's fixing Anthony Davis. And what does Anthony Davis need? And I think that's what we have to cater to as the LA Lakers. Anthony Davis does not feel comfortable playing the 5. He needs to be able to roam. He wants to start from the outside, work his way in. And when he did, think about the bubble year. The last year he really played the 4. He had the best numbers he's had in a long time. And so here's what I'm saying. I think LA has to use that money. And I'm not super Kyrie, like, oh, gosh, we got to have Kyrie. I'm okay with bringing back D'Lo. I'm okay with bringing back Schroeder. I'm okay with bringing back Reeves. I'm okay with bringing back Rui. I'm okay with Vanderbilt staying. I'm all right with AD and LeBron. I'm good with all that because it worked the second half of the season. I think what we have to do is move AD back to the 4. I think we have to move LeBron back to the 1. He's got to be the ball. He's got to be the ball guy. He's got to bring it up court. He's got to be the vision for the court. We don't have a Rajon Rondo anymore like we did in 2020, 19, 20, whatever year it was. It's got to be LeBron James. And so I'm okay with seeing LeBron, Reeves, Rui, AD, and then you plug and play the big that can dive. That's all we need is a diving big. That's all we got to have. AD, work on your outside shot this year. Bring it up to 35, 36%. That's all you got to do. Work on your outside shot. Be able to stretch the floor a little bit as a 4. You can play inside out, whatever you want to do. But I think that's what's going to be the difference for LA. And if we're going to bring in a piece, we're going to make a splash. Let it be DeMar DeRozan. That's all I got to say.
The Lakers were a better team when Anthony Davis played the 5. They were statistically, you can shake your head. No, this has been gone over by several different people. Their plus minus was better. Their offensive numbers were better, and their defense. You cannot care all day long. You're still wrong. Okay?
Anthony Davis
he's never going to be comfortable in LA. He's not going to be comfortable. What he needs is a change of setting. That's what he needs. They need to go ahead and cut bait. See you later, because he's going to walk in 2 years anyway. Watch it happen.
Wait, so Anthony Davis, the numbers are better when he plays the 5. I don't disagree with that. But I will say the numbers aren't better when he plays the 5 for consecutive full games in a row. It's like he can do it for about 10 to 15 minutes a game. He needs to play the 4 for the majority of his minutes, and then they have like a killer lineup that stresses you out. And I think that's when it's going to be key. He needs that time to explore the floor in a way. Something's got to be different. It can't be the same thing that just happened.
I don't think he's built for LA.
He's
not built for LA.
And listen, you guys do this all the time. You're such stat muse guys. Listen, it's cool.
No, I watch the games. Don't start that BS on here. Okay, I watch the games. You get on here and say something you're wrong. No. I know because I know. I've seen with my eyes this guy. I'm telling you, he is not built for LA. Some dudes are not built for LA.
Anthony Davis's best year ever was in New Orleans when he had Boogie Cousins playing the 5. Anthony Davis at the 4.
Boogie Cousins was injured that year when they beat Portland in the playoffs.
Injured by
Anthony
the playoffs.
Davis played the 5. What are you talking about?
Yeah, in the playoffs. He played it for one round when they won a series.
Without Boogie Cousins, and he played the 5. So again, admit you're wrong.
His best statistical year was at the 4. Anthony Davis needs to play the 4. I think that's how LA fixes it. That's what I want to see him do. I think Kyrie could work. I think he moves us up a level where we're probably favorites to win the championship next year with Kyrie, but I would rather see Anthony Davis move to the 4.
Would you rather have Kyrie or Reeves and Rui? Because that's the decision that you would have to make.
Kyrie.
Yeah, me too.
Kyrie. I think you roll the dice on Kyrie and see where it goes.
Kyrie? Why can't you have both? That would have been my question.
So you're assuming that Kyrie signs for less than the max?
Like, yeah, why can't I don't see it beyond the realm of him taking a James Harden-esque 1 year, get you in the books, get you on the thing. Let's get you going. LeBron's probably leaving. We're gonna up you afterway. We need Showtime in LA, and he provides all the splash, all
I love
the
it.
flavor.
I can just go based on what he's done before. He's never taken a pay cut before. I don't see him doing now. I think he's going to want every dollar he can get.
James Harden's never taken a pay cut till this year either.
James Harden and Kyrie were in two very different eras of their career. Kyrie's won a chip. James Harden hasn't.
Both seem kind of distressed at the moment. Well, before this year, I think James Harden played a great year. I think before this year, James Harden seems distressed. Before, everywhere Kyrie goes, he's not. He's been proven over and over again. He's done jack without LeBron. Jack.
You're absolutely right. But the fact that he won a ring alters the mindset. I'm not going to be on that list with Charles Barkley. I'm not going to be on that list with Chris Paul. I've shown that I can do it. I bailed LeBron James out. So that's what it comes down to.
I think it's more of like I think it's more of like a redemption story, though. It's a redemption year. Like, hey, you guys have talked bad about me. Brooklyn did this, slandered my name. The Mavericks didn't work because Luka sucks as a basketball player. And so we have to really I think we can get him on the cheap on a redemption deal. And I love it. I think it can happen.
That'd be the whole.
But it's up to LeBron.
32 million. Go ahead, throw 32 million at him.
What about a re-signing of D'Lo and Rui and then trade with the first round pick? Doesn't that open up a couple avenues to maybe bring back Reeves and stuff like that?
If you're doing a sign and trade, so it'd be a double sign and trade?
Yeah.
So they'd be hard capped
at 162.
Yeah, they'd be hard cap at 162. Now you lose both exemptions according to the new CPA.
Yes.
Yeah. So you lose your exemptions.
Yeah, and I think you also lose the ability to sign any buyout guy. I just think it's so limiting.
I mean, but if you go in with the core and you're like, this is going to be it for the year. We got Kyrie, we got LeBron, we got AD. They
would have to draft well, and they would have to be willing to say, we are not going after seeds 1, 2, 3, or 4. We are fine with maybe seeds 4, 5, and 6. We're good with that area.
Yeah,
and we need to rest our guys.
Well, I think that has to happen. Yeah, because I think the other part, and we'll talk more about it next episode. But I think AD playing 32, 33, LeBron being in that 28 to 30 mark. It's going to be really important next year for LA, and that's why I love the thought of having somebody like Kyrie. Somebody's going to have to carry the offense for a long time in LA for the regular season, right? It's going to have to be 2 quarters a game, 70 games a year. We need you to carry the offense.
Yeah,
and Kyrie then.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
Kyrie then.
I love DeMar.
Again, I just don't know how are you getting him.
I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet, but I'm working on it.